So, the first thing that we need to do is obviously create a database. So, I will be using the create database and the name of the database. So, create database company inventory 2 because the company inventory already exists. So yeah, we need to add another name. So the database is created. To see it, we need to go here, but the connection is not here as I can see. So need to refresh, and now the database is visible. Once created a database, we need to first, well, if we was on the terminal, like right here, we will be using the use, well, we need first to log in. So yeah, we use a command current user. So if we are on a terminal, we need to specify the database that we are using. So we need to use the use database and company inventory 2 and use database. No, okay, it's use company inventory, and now we will be executing the commands on this database. But I will be using the MySQL Workbench program. So the only thing that we need to do is double press. As you can see here, the name is in bold. So this is indicating that we are using this database. For example, in this sys database, if we double click on it, now it's in bold, so it means that we are using this database. So double press the name, and that's it. Now we need to create our first table, that it's the locations table. So to do that, we need to use the create table statement. So create table, the name of the table, that it's locations, and then we can do this so it's more visible to us. So we need to specify now the 3 columns, that is the code column, the name, and the address. So we first need to put the name, that it's code, and then the value, that it will be a varchar, and then because code is the primary key, we need to specify it too. So primary key. Then to insert another column, we need to write a comma and then start writing the other one. So now the name, that is it will be a varchar 255. It says that it's unique, so we will be specifying that too. And it's required. So to required columns, we need to, there's no required, this doesn't exist, but we can use not null. This doesn't allow null values, so we need to input values, mandatory. And then finally address, that will be a varchar 2, and then indicating, and it's required, so not null. Okay, now we execute it and it's created. So we need to refresh, and here is the locations table. Okay, so now we need to create the resources table, that it's basically the same as the locations one. So to do that, I mean, I already created because I recently executed the command. But to do that, well, it's basically the same, but with a few more columns. Anything special is that in the quantity it's an integer and the default value is a 0. So to specify that, we need to write a default and then the value. I mean, this can be 1, 2, 3, but in this case it's a 0. And then the price, that it's a decimal, but in this case, I mean, what this means basically is that the maximum amount of digits of the number is 6, and this is the size of digits that comes after the point or the comma. So to price the maximum amount, it's 9,999 dot 99. So this is, I mean, the maximum, I mean, the number of digits on this, in this number is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 after the point, and that's it. Okay, now we will be inserting data inside the resources table. So the activity 4 gives us this command, and if we copy this command, that it's basically a basic insert into command, how it works. So we write insert into, and then the table name, that in this case it's resources, and then the columns of the table that we will be inserting data on, and the values of each column. So it's important that this needs to be, I mean, in aligned with the column names. So first, I mean, if we put code name category, we here in values we need to put code name and category, because the command doesn't know if you want to input laptop inside code or quantity. So yeah, it's important to do that. So if we try to execute this command, we have this error, we get this error that is saying that the data is too long for the column code. Why? This is because when creating the resources table, we specified that the maximum length is 4, and here we are inserting 5. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we just need to remove an extra 0, and then if we execute it again, it works perfectly. Now later on activity 4, there's a question that asks us to insert a resource with a negative quantity. So if we try to do this, okay, we need to, I don't know, personal computer. Okay, now if we try, it works. Why? This is because when creating the, I mean, again, when creating the resource table, we specified that the quantity is an integer, but an integer can, I mean, if we look on the internet, we can see that it accepts between this number 2 million, 2 million or 2,000, to 2,000, so negative quantities works. So to avoid this, we just need to modify the integer value type of quantity to, for example, unsigned, as we can see, because if we look for it again on sign SQL, we can see, I mean, where it, I don't know, with, I mean, we can see here that an unsigned data type will only hold positive values. So yeah. Activity 5, create the employees table. So this is basically the same as the others, just chasing the columns. But something special about this table is that the ID field, I mean the ID column, it has auto increment. What is auto increment? So this is used to when inserting data. I mean, let's say that we are wait. Let's say that we are inserting data inside the employees table. So we will use insert into employees values. So without the auto increment, we need to specify here the ID, the first and the first name, for example, only these two columns. In the values, we need to specify the one, and the first name will be, I don't know, Sidney. So this is without the auto increment. So this is very, I mean, it's not very practical. It's not very easy to use. So with the auto increment, we can get rid of this, and it automatically puts in this case an integer on the ID column. So if we execute this, the output will be inside the employees table will be if there's no records, the first one will be 0 and Sydney. Then if we insert, for example, Pablo, the next one will be 1 and Pablo, and so on. So if we execute this command, the employees table will be created, and we just need to refresh, and here is the employees table. Now in activity 6, it says that we need to modify the employees table to set location code as a foreign key. The update policy must be cascade, and the delete policy must be set null. If it does not work, explain the issue and how to fix it. So we do first things first. To modify columns of a table, we will need to use the alter table statement. So alter table and employees. Then to add a foreign key, I mean, we need to modify the column, so we need to use the alter table and add constraint. So add constraint to add a foreign key. In this case, the name of the foreign key is fk location code. Then we specify here the foreign key. So the foreign key will be the location code column that it's that references the code column inside the locations table. Then because the exercise asks us to update the policy, I mean the update policy must be cascade. So we specify it here on update and then cascade, and then on delete set null. So what this means and what this means. So on update cascade, it means that when are updating this field on this table, any related table that has this same code, that in this case is the locations table, the code column, this code inside the locations table will be updated too. So it's very useful to have this. And then on delete, it's we use it too when we are deleting the this record. I mean the record that includes the location code is set it to null, so we don't have errors or something. Now if we try to execute this command, we will get this error. Why? This is because the location code uh, doesn't allow null values, and here on delete we are setting the value on delete to null, and this is not good. This is not well done. So to fix this, we will need to alter the table employees, and then modify column location code, and then specify again the value type. In this case it's 5, and that's it, because when doing this the not null will just be removed. So when we do this and executing this command again, it will work. So yeah, let's try this. Let's comment this and this, and now okay, alter table employees with just one s, okay, and semicolon, and now it worked. Now we need to comment this and uncomment this, and now if we try to execute this, it works perfectly. Activity 7. This activity asks us to create a user with or a name and a secure password. So to do this, we just need to use the create user statement. So here we specify not the comment, the name of the user, in this case Sidney2, because the Sidney user already exists, and then identify it by, and here we put a secure password, so admin123 is a very secure password, and then we need to give this user as access to the company inventory database. So in this case, it's not a company company inventory, is the company inventory too. So grant all privileges. I can't see. Oh my God. Privileges on a company inventory 2, and here we specify to all the tables, and then we put to which user, Sidney 2. Okay, now if we try to execute this, it works, and now we need to log in with this user and try if it works. So I will use the terminal, we exit, we clear, and now we MySQL specify the user, in this case is Sidney2, and with password we enter the password, and now we are connected. So we need to specify the database, so use company inventory 2. Now I just noticed why this does not work is because I don't know how to write, and the company inventory 2 database does not exist. So we fix this, we execute this, and then here let's see if it updates. Now it updates. So let's clear there's no system clear. So use company inventory 2. And now if we select all from, I don't know, employees, no, from resources, boom, and we can, if to check that we have all the privileges, we need to drop table and resources. Yes, we have the privileges. Now finally, activity 8, roles. So roles can be used to manage users permissions in a better way, so we don't need to grant privileges to a specific user, and for each specific user we can just grant roles, and that's it. So in this case we will be creating 2 roles, the admin role and the viewer role. So create role admin, this creates the role. So now we need to grant all privileges because it's the admin, so it has all the privileges on company inventory 2 and on all the tables to admin. And then we need to grant this role to a specific user. So in this case it's grant admin to a admin user. And the same with the viewer, but the viewer can only, as the name says, see data. So grant select, because select is for view data. So grant select on company to viewer, and grant the viewer privilege to the viewer user. So before doing this, we obviously need to create the admin user. So create user admin user, identify it by, let's put a secure password. Okay, and then we create the viewer user with the same password. Okay, now I was testing this and it turns out that you can just put this in one command. So you need to first execute the create role command, then grant all the privileges, and then granting all the privileges to the role, and then granting the role to the admin user. So I needed to rename this because the first attempt I created the admin role, and it was created, but now the grant all privileges couldn't be executed well. So now I created again the admin role the admin role, and now we need to grant all privileges to admin role. So we execute this, everything perfect, and then we grant the admin role to the admin user. So okay, and the same thing with the viewer role. So we create a role, it's already created. We grant select on the viewer role, we execute the command, and then we uncomment this, and grant the viewer role to the viewer user. You have an error. Grant viewer role to what? Copy response. You have an error. You check the manual. Where I don't know what is this? Near what? Viewer role. Now it works. I don't know. This sometimes just gives errors because it likes to do so. So now let's try it.